I'm not someone who drinks a lot. However, in preparation for this episode, I really had no idea just how many awful dubs of this song were out there. And so before we get started with this episode and go over all of these dubs in like a messed up marathon, I just wanted to make sure that I had a glass of wine in front of me. I want to mention also before I start this video that I'd really like to apologize in advance to all of the Karen fans out there. This video may not be for you, though I would like to make it clear that I think that this character, and by extension fans of this character, really did deserve better than these performances in pretty much every dub. This really is less of a criticism on the character and more of a criticism on the dubs of this song themselves. So without further ado, here is my ranking of the different dubs of Aurora no Kaze ni Notte. Number 10. Did they bring the janitor in to like sing this as a joke? But then they kept it in? Like, I don't understand. So, obvious things first. The singing is terrible. The voice doesn't match the character. The whole thing is just awful and grating. But I'm really more interested in the directing decisions than in the performance itself. I mean, think about it. Someone working at a professional dubbing studio had to make the choice to cast this voice actor, and then upon hearing the finished result, this dubbing studio decided that it was good enough to be put on the air. Unbelievable. There are a lot of terrible dubs of this particular song, but this is quite a low to achieve. And yet, at the same time, it's kind of so bad that it's great. It's a legend among dub songs, and so for that one reason, and that one reason alone, it gets a 2. It gets 2 points out of 20. Number 9. Oh, Japan, what are you doing down here? Well, I'm sorry to all the Karen fans out there, but what the hell happened here? I understand wanting all of the characters that sing to have the same speaking and singing voices. I mean, that's one of the show's gimmicks. But I really don't like Karen's voice in either department. But like specifically in this song, so many notes are shouted or just completely off key, and it's very unpleasant to listen to, and that's really saying something. I mean, if there is one show where all of the performances should be perfect, it's gotta be Mermaid Melody, right? I mean, at least she's not the worst at performing her own song, but wow, she is not the best either. Thankfully, out of the entire cast, she's really the only one that's not a great singer, and for that, let us all be very, very thankful. Number 8. So, in a complete 180 from what I'm used to from the Hebrew dub, this performance is actually too loud and shouty, as opposed to being too weak, which is what I'm normally used to from the Hebrew dub. That being said, while this version is about as shouty as the Japanese version, the singer misses less notes, there are some decent moments here or there, so overall I'd say that it is slightly better than the Japanese version, so it's ranked a little bit higher. Number 7. Following the trend of other Portuguese dub songs, we have some tweaks to the performance. It's a little bit different from the original, so I'm definitely going to give this dub some brownie points for that originality. I always like to, because I think it's important to give points for creativity. But there are just moments here that really don't work. The singer's voice is decent, if not a bit awkward sounding. I do have to give this dub credit. The voice does sound like Karen. Whether or not that's a good thing, I don't know. The harmony is pretty good, so it's not as bad as some of the other ones, but it's still kind of like not great.
E sob as estrelas eu sei que os meus sonhos são tão grandes. Nada mais me vai parar.
Number 6. I like to think of this performance as being kind of like a slightly better version of what the Hebrew dubbed song is. While it's not as off-key as the original Japanese version, it's still very shouty and not great to listen to. But when compared to the Hebrew and Portuguese dubs, I'd say that there are more sections that sound decent. And for that reason, I'd say that this is marginally better than the earlier versions, though it definitely still leaves something to be desired. Number 5.
Es mágico el amanecer tan bello es que me va a hacer llorar.
Well, you have to give it to the Spanish dub. They are willing to fix their mistakes. Even though they don't tend to have the best performances, you can definitely tell that they are trying, that they do care. That being said, while this version is a huge improvement over the original, it's still off-key in some areas and a little unpolished. Like with other Spanish dub songs, I feel like this could have been so much better if they had just done 1 or 2 more takes.
Aurora van mis deseos, volando hacia ti se elevan y te cuentan lo que creo.
Number 4.
Elle est magique, l'aube qui se lève, elle est si belle qu'elle me fait pleurer.
I mean, this version sounds decent, but I can't really tell because that echo is drowning everything out. It is hard to tell, but I'd say that as a whole, this version is better than the second Spanish version. While the performance is slightly better, though, it is still off-key in some areas, and at best, I'd say it's really only decent.
Va-t'en, je t'en prie, je ne veux pas que tu me sauves.
Flottant dans le vent léger, tous mes désirs s'envolent à l'aurore.
Number 3. This is pretty par for the course with all the other Korean dub songs. You know, it's beautiful for the most part, but there are a couple of notes that are like really, really off-key. And you know, it's really unfortunate too, because up until the first missed note, this version blows every other version out of the water. It's beautiful and, you know, it's graceful, and I was very impressed with what I was hearing. You know, and I was excited for the Korean dub to be at the number 1 or the number 2 spot for once. But then, you know, the singer misses that one note really badly, and it just jolts you right out of the experience in a very disappointing way. Still, because this version is mostly good, I'm gonna place it above all the other previous dubs on this list. I still think it's pretty good. Good job, Korea. Number 2. You know, if this was any other song, this performance would probably be ranked number 4 or number 5 because it's good, but it's not really exceptional. However, when compared to the rest of the entries on this list, this is really the only performance that's like consistent in quality. You know, even if that is B-level quality, it's consistent. There are no off-key moments. There are no really awkward moments. There's nothing that really jolts you out of the listening experience. The singer sounds very cute, and it fits the character. So in this particular case, all of those polished features of the Taiwanese dub actually work to its benefit. So this is my ranking. Number 1. Okay, I was really, really worried that this song was cursed and that even Vazia was not going to be able to save it, but thankfully, that is not the case. This version of the song is by far the best, Not only is it done well, but this performance actually makes me appreciate the song. So for that reason, this is an easy win for Greece. And I'm just going to be quiet and let you listen to the rest of this dub. See, here's the thing. This song is not terrible. I think Vazia proved that. Nor is it even that hard to perform. In fact, I'm pretty sure that they made it simple to perform on purpose to accommodate Emma Kagure's vocal ability. It's a real shame that most of the dubs pretty much matched or only slightly improved upon the original. It's almost like Karen was supposed to sound bad on purpose. In fact, I think I've talked to several of you on Instagram about that. Like maybe it's a big conspiracy theory, like it's written in the script that she's supposed to sound bad or something. I don't know if I really believe that, but, you know, it makes you wonder. Anyway, next time on Dub Judge, we're going to be revisiting those beautiful evil sisters with our review of Yami no Bareke, a song that thankfully received a lot more love than this one. Until then, I'm Segastar. Have a beautiful night.